Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of NasCard Radio. This is episode number 63. I'm your pal Val. With me is the amazing Jason. Jason, how are you today?
I'm doing well as always, Val.
And the man, the myth, the legend, King NASCAR Logan, how are you?
I'm fine. It's flannel time in Tennessee.
The winds are changing and the seasons are changing. We got a great show for you today. We're going to talk about the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, the Cup Series. We got the Xfinity Series where it was a cutoff and the players are getting ready to start. We're going to talk a little bit about F1 IndyCar, and we get some time. We're going to talk about the buybacks and the 10th anniversary Maxx product, and then whatever else we can think of. So
Maybe some Xfinity playoff predictions.
yes, there you go. That would be really good to talk about. Again, this is NasCardRadio, where trading cards and racing meet. Shout out to Canada. Thanks for listening.
And Belgium. Thank you, Belgium. We appreciate it.
Then the great state of Ohio. So let's get started here. The Camping World Truck Series, that was race number 18. That was the 24th annual UNOH 200 presented by Ohio Logistics. That was Thursday night, September 16th at Bristol Motor Speedway, Bristol, Tennessee. The winner was Chandler Smith. The highest finishing rookie was Chandler Smith. I think somebody said that he needed to win to get in. Somebody had picked him from the group here to win, and he did. I think he willed himself to that win there. I missed that one, but they said with like 6 laps to go, he was muscling his way in.
He was. I predicted him to win. I was proud of him, and that's the only way I think he was going to get in, because he was one of the two Smiths that were on the outside looking in.
Yes, that's right. Zane Smith and Chandler Smith. So, and again, highest finishing rookie. So that was pretty sweet. And with that, we go to the round of 8, and Todd Gillen and Austin Hill are out. We talked about Chandler Smith and his rookies. Previously, he was just in the 2021 Donruss, the Signature Series, but Chronicles came out, and he is in a plethora of Chronicles. He's in the base Chronicles, card number 5, with the different parallels like the blue, red, purple, gold, black, and serial number 199 to down to 1. So not a lot of those besides the base. And then Chronicles autographs. And those seem to be numbers minimum, I guess you would say, because you have the unnumbered, but then the numbered are like 25, 10, and 1. The Obsidian, he's in the score autographs, select autographs, and then Spectre. So the kids putting it all together there. So Chronicles is your best bet, and lots to collect there. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was, believe it or not, that was his first win.
So I thought he had one, but I guess not. I guess he's been finishing. We've been talking about him, right? So I think he's been finishing highest finishing rookie. But yeah.
And so I not only that, I predicted a rookie to win. That's kind of weird.
That's pretty bold. So, but you've watched a few races or two. Sometimes you can just kind of tell. It's hard to explain that when, looking at the cards and or these drivers and maybe what cards to collect, or if you're trying to speculate or whatever. And it's like you can it's a mixture of personality, the team he's running for, and the crew that he's got. It's like little voodoo magic, whatever, and for it to pop out that they're a contender,
Yep, that's for sure. But I'm proud of him. In my bracket, I had Gilliland and Zane Smith going out, so at least I got one of the ones going out correctly. I thought Austin Hill would make it, but didn't quite do it.
That's still pretty impressive. I can't remember who. I don't know. Did we have the same one? I think we might have had the same ones.
But we did. I remember we had the same ones.
So, but next race, Las Vegas, Viva Las Vegas. The Victoria's Voice Foundation 200 presented by Westgate Resorts. That is Friday night, 9 p.m., September 24th. Stages are 30, 60, 134 laps for 201 miles. And like I said, Todd Gilliland, Austin Hill are out. Advancing, John Hunter Nemechek, Sheldon Creed, Ben Rhodes, Zane Smith, Chandler Smith, Matt Crafton is hanging around, Carson Hocevar, and Stuart Friesen. So it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. I'm looking at the points here. So we'll see, I guess, after Las Vegas, how they're doing and how they're locking in. So
Yeah, and Matt Crafton is the old man of the truck series because his rookies are in 2001 press pass, and everybody else's rookies are at like 2013 and beyond.
that is correct. I remember, chasing a few of those down to track a few of those down so I could get him to sign them. Yeah, he's been around. He's been around a while. He's won as well. So
yeah, he's a past champion.
Yep.
So he's had multiple titles.
He doesn't have a lot of signatures. I think me and Jason had talked about it one time where he's like in 2016 Prism and some of that, or there was something else. I can see it in my head, but they're limited, so I think I picked one up for like $2 or $3, like numbered out of 10. I was like, yes, please, all day. Moving over to Xfinity Series, that was race number 26. And that was the 40th annual Food City 300. That was Friday night, September 17th at Bristol Motor Speedway.
That was a race.
Oh, my goodness. I have never seen that. So if you didn't watch it, you missed a fantastic race. You might, if you can get access to it, I would watch the last 10 laps. AJ Allmendinger and Austin Cindric were coming to the line. Basically, these gentlemen were tied. Whoever crossed the finish line first would be the regular season champ and get the trophy for that. And they came across the line
sideways.
and Allmendinger hit the wall. That's the first time, or the only time that I remember, where the winning driver had to go to the infield care center and then be released to go to victory lane, because it's a rule that if they're in an accident, that they go to the care center. So it was a wild one. And you could tell Allmendinger, he is so pumped and so motivated, and I'm so happy to see that. He is just, I mean, I feel bad for Austin Cindric because he won. He was wanting to win as well, and it came to be so close. But
yeah, Colleague Racing, who AJ Allmendinger drives for, they are on a roll for sure, and their culture there is a great culture. I mean, they're in it for the trophies. I don't think they were really shooting for the championship, but now they're there, and I think that they may be able to do it for sure.
And they're gearing up for a Cup team as well, right?
Yeah, and they've already got a Cup win. I mean, AJ Allmendinger won at Indy.
That's right. Speaking of, our highest finishing rookie was Sam Mayer at position 9, which is no slouch either.
No, Sam is doing good. He's going full time with Junior next year, so I'm expecting great things out of him.
Yeah, and Ty freaking Gibbs came in at the 11th.
Yeah, you stole my thunder. I was going to say Ty freaking Gibbs.
Well, you can say it and I'll take it out.
Go ahead, Jason. Say Ty freaking Gibbs.
It doesn't sound the same to say Ty freaking Gibbs for me. That's your line.
Okay, Ty freaking Gibbs. Whatever.
Yeah, he came in 11th. All right, so AJ Allmendinger, who we're starting to talk about more and more, his rookies are in 2007. He's in a press pass stealth, so he's got a base there, card number 29. And then he's got retail chrome exclusive number to 99, chrome platinum number to 25, eBay previews to 5, maximum access, which is insert, press pass premium, card number 83, press pass VIP, card number 84. It's got parallels in that with get a grip drivers, get a grip teams, rookie stripes autographs, signings, number 2, base unnumbered, number to 25, and then a gold version. He's also in tracks, 2007 tracks. There's gold version, hollow foil version, red, number to 10, eBay preview, and American Thunder, card number 84. And I think there's also autograph version in there, and I think there's serial number to 50, and the variation is it's autographed dinger. That'd be really cool to have now.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people looking for that right now too.
So I was able to pick up one of the Chrome exclusives X card X29 number to 99 off of ComC, I think for about $10. So figured I'd stash that one.
Yeah, AJ's kind of coming into his own now. I think it's just taking him a while to get with the right team and mesh with the right kind of guys. But you could tell that Collie Racing is like all for one and one for all, and I like that a lot. If I lived in the Charlotte area, I might try to go find a job there, just because I think those guys are really cool.
I totally agree with you. You just kind of can see this coming together, and it's just not him, right? Is Jeb Burton's in there, right?
Yeah, Jeb Burton and Justin Haley.
Right.
Justin Haley's going full-time Cup with him next year, and he's got that rain-shortened Cup win at Daytona.
And I guess where I'm going with is all three of those drivers are in the playoffs. So not to jump ahead, but let's go to Sam Mayer. I just had to say it before I lost my train of thought. So, but Colin Grayson's got it going on.
Elderly.
I'm getting what? Yeah, well, yeah. We're not going to talk about that. Okay. 2020 Donruss, Sam Mayer. His stuff is actually getting tough to find, or the cards on Check Out My Cards, they value them very much. So, but in Donruss, he's got the base rated rookie card. And it comes, of course, in the different flavors of silver, Carolina blue, orange, red, blue, green, purple, pink, black, numbered, and black trophy, printing plates. He's in the optic. In the optic hollow, Carolina blue, orange pulsar, red mojo, and then gold number to 10 and gold vinyl number to 1. Also optic signatures, serial number to 99 and 1. So I'm looking for one of those optic signatures. Then you go to 2020 Chronicles, and he's in a few of the series, or the few, I guess, whatever, insert sets, score being probably the bigger one, with different versions of blue, red, purple, gold, black, and score autographs with the unnumbered autograph to also green 199, purple 25, gold 10, and black 1. Spectra, and then there's no autographs in Spectra, but in the 2020 neon green, kaleidoscope, red mosaic, gold, emerald, pulsar, and nebula. And then he's also in National Treasures with social signatures. Those would be pretty cool to get.
Mm-hmm.
Those numbered 25 or less.
Also, I appreciate the fact that they did something unique with those and also kept it limited, not 500 or 1,000 of them. I like that aspect of it as well.
So I need to look to see what the social signatures is, that the Twitter and the Facebook and all that other logos. So those would be pretty cool. And again, numbered to 25 or less. And then there's treasured debuts, and that's 25 or less as well. And then he's in Panini Prism signatures. And there's an unnumbered version of the signing sessions, and then it's from 99 down with silver, green, scope, pink, red and blue Hyper Prism, blue and Carolina Hyper Prism, Rainbow Prism, green and yellow Hyper Prism, gold Prism, white Prism, gold vinyl, black finite to 1. So just rub your eyes real hard and you can see all the different colors.
It's all it takes.
Yep. So that's Sam Mayer. So he's somebody probably I think to watch out for as well. And then the next race, Las Vegas. The Asco's Uniforms 302. That's 7:30 Saturday night, September 25th. Stages are 45, 111 laps for 302 miles. And our playoff standings after Bristol with the reset. Austin Cindric, AJ Allmendinger, both are tied in points. Justin Allgaier, Noah Graskin, Justin Haley, Daniel Hemrick, Jeb Burton, Harrison Burton, Mike Snyder, Brandon Jones, Riley Hurst, and Jeremy Clements, which I had to do a double take for Jeremy Clements. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I just didn't realize that he was, running top 12 all year.
Yeah, that consistency thing pays off.
Sure does. Do you want to we'll do Cup now, or you want to do Xfinity run through Cup?
Let's go through Cup.
All right. Cup race number 29. That was the 61st annual Bass Pro Shops NRA night race, and that was Saturday night, September 18th at Bristol Motor Speedway. Kyle Larson was the winner there. That was a kind of interesting race where Chase and Harvick had some words and trying to go for the win. Our highest finishing rookie was Chase Briscoe.
Hey, so let me say something unrelated to cards, but I know a lot of guys do it. I dabble with FanDuel, like lightly dabble, like Sunday bet $10 worth of games and then, kind of have something to do. The past 2 weeks for FanDuel, their boost bet, where it's like higher odds or better odds for the better, they both have worked out because this past week was Larson had to finish in the top 3. And then the previous week, Truex had to finish in the top 3. So I don't know if they are just bad luck or if they actually are kind of putting something out there that's worthwhile. But, that's the first time I've really paid attention to the NASCAR betting in 2 weeks in a row that the bet was successful.
Why don't, Logan, if you want to talk about this one, or I can talk about it, the last 5-10 laps.
Oh, go ahead, man. I'll let you
Chase had come from the back and was fighting for the lead. Kevin Harvick was fighting for the lead. Kevin Harvick has not, won a race this year, and we've talked about it before about how many races he had won last year with 0 wins this year. They were not given an inch. Wasn't a lot of room. With Bristol's a small track and there's a lot of lap cars. And I think they kind of got 3 wide. Chase got kind of pinched in. It took down one of his tires. So he had to basically go in and pit. So his day was kind of done for the win, but not for the race. So he came back out and, Harvick and they came back together and they were racing pretty hard. Harvick was not happy about that. Kyle Larson, I think, I don't say he kind of snuck that win, but he was in the right place at the right time. Am I remembering that right, Logan?
Well, yeah. What was going on is Chase was leading. Harvick came up and they were side by side. The right side of Chase Elliott's car hit the left side of Harvick's, and I think what happened was Chase's front right tire hit the exhaust, caused him to have Harvick's exhaust caused him to have a flat. So he pitted. He came back out and he was like a lap. I guess really at that time he was 2 laps down, but he got 1 lap back because he actually got past Harvick, and who took the lead, and
he sideswiped him too.
Yeah, he sideswiped
on the way by. Yeah,
to get by. Kyle Busch. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. I think Kyle Busch's issues were before all this, but Kyle Busch had a flat tire as well, so he was way back. But anyway, there was a late caution. They lined up. Chase was out front of Harvick, and he was Chase claims he was running his own line that he always runs, but it just so happened that line he was running was the same line that Harvick was running, and he was. You can call it whatever you want, but I tell you what I think. Chase was slowing up Harvick, and I don't care. I don't think Chase cared who was in third place. All he wanted to do was make sure that Harvick didn't win, because he was mad because Harvick rubbed him and cut his tire down and took him out of a win and out of the lead. So, I think Kyle Larson just happened to be the beneficiary of that. If it had been Kyle Busch or Kurt Busch or, whoever in third, I don't think Chase cared. All he wanted to do is make sure he was going to do his level best to make sure that Harvick was not going to win, and that's what happened. So after the race, Kyle Larson got past Harvick. After the race, Chase and Harvick got into it, they were arguing. I think they were actually what they were doing. They were probably talking about, hey, have you seen the latest episode of Ted Lasso? But they were arguing, and of course they took it to the trailer. So I don't know what all happened, but Harvick dropped a few S-bombs on TV, and I thought there was going to be a fight, but no fisticuffs whatsoever. There was just a little bit of shoving and a lot of finger pointing. But yeah, Harvick was mad. I don't blame him. I love Chase, but I think Chase was being a little pissy. So that's kind of how it all went down.
Yeah, I was listening. I was listening to it in the car, and it was after the race, and you can definitely hear when the people call into the radio station. You could definitely tell if they were Harvick fans or Chase Elliott fans with the way the Chase Elliott fans would go after Harvick for saying the S word or whatever on TV, and then the Harvick fans would go after Chase about the blocking and other stuff and some of that. So. But it was kind of interesting because they were in the pits or they were walking by the haulers and they were trying to talk, and there were some people there like taking pictures and taking video, and they would Harvick and Chase would stop, and the media or the police were trying to escort them, but they ended up going to the Napa trailer, I guess, to finish the conversation. So
yeah, but I didn't like the fact that Harvick was getting on that reporter, because that reporter was just doing his job, and they're out in the public space, so that reporter has every right to cover that and take pictures or film it or do whatever. And I think that was poor form of Harvick to go after him, and because Harvick got like right in his face, and I don't know what was said, but you can kind of guess that he was like, you need to stop this crap right now, and blah blah blah. I'm sure there was some expletives there and all that going on. And that's when they went to Chase Elliott's hauler to talk privately.
Yeah, you can tell Harvick was crazy mad. Chase, not so much, but
yeah. You know what I called that? When Harvick got out of the car and he had those big old eyes, the first thing that reminded me of is when Ricky Rudd would get mad and he had Ricky Rudd eyes. It's like, God, man. You better watch out because he's PO'd.
Yeah. Switching over to cars, we've talked about Kyle Larson quite a few times this year with all his wins, with the 2013 Press Pass Fanfare and 2013 Press Pass Total Memorabilia. And those cars have kind of all dried up. Those are pretty hard to find in any forms. The Fanfare, you have different parallels, quite a few, and a few different, looks like about 5 different autographs with the silver, gold, red, blue, and green. Everything's numbered from 225 or less. And then the Total Memorabilia and the Rising Stars autographs, also autographed from 125 and less. The base, the gold, blue, and melding. So those are in high demand, and he's definitely one of our Final Fours, if not everybody's predicting champion. I wonder what the odds are for him for a champion.
I don't know. Jason might know.
Say one thing about FanDuel, and now I'm the
no. I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm sure it's like 2-1 or something. It's
kind of funny because I'm like listening and scrolling through the schedule and the winners, not realizing really how much he'd won until I'm looking through and I keep seeing his face pop up. What's the record for a season of wins? Because right now he's at one.
Oh, he's nowhere near it. It's Richard Petty, and he had 25 wins or something.
Well, you have.
Is that even the same comparison though? I mean, is that like baseball, like modern era versus dead ball? Like, is that even a fair comparison?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that, Jason. You're right. You're spot on. You've got the modern era, which started in '71, when Winston came into the sport, and they took the schedule and cut it down to like 30 some odd, 33 or 35 races or whatever, because they were running like back before then they were running 2-3 races a week. That's one of the reasons Richard Petty has so many wins. I mean, because you have a lot more opportunities. So yeah, the modern era record is 13.
Oh, okay. He's at 7, which I mean is nothing to sneeze at for sure. But
well, I think we talked about it one time. We were comparing his previous years to this year, and I saw so his whole career up until this year was 6 wins, and this year he's got 7.
We're checking for PEDs. That's all I'm thinking.
No, I think he is. I think we talked about this before, right? So I always thought. I mean, everybody knew Larson. Kyle Larson was a talent. I remember when Logan Tyler knew. We all knew back in 2013 that this kid was going to be good, and I remember telling other people about him back in 13 and 14. And buying his cards and stuff. Chip Ganassi saw that, and we talked about it. So he was a great talent with a good team, and he's still a great talent with a great team. And I think that's what we're seeing now. And again, like I was talking about before, the voodoo magic, the team and the driver and the crew, and you kind of mix it all up and you get, all the planets align, and this is what it looks like.
Gotcha. Makes sense. And to your point of maybe I would know, I looked it up and he's at plus 200 right now. So he's got the best odds, and it's plus 200, which I think is the updated.
Yeah, I figured as much. I figured he was the favorite by far.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring.
Like this. His odds are plus 200. The next person is Denny and Truex and a couple other guys, and they're all plus 800. So he's got 4 times better odds, I guess.
Yep. Yeah. So he is the one. So of course my dad, I should ask him. He loves Ryan Blaney, so he'll put money on Blaney and Quinn Huff, who is from his area. So I think he put like $1 down on Quinn Huff to win the championship, which is like 10,000 to 1. So,
but he didn't even make the once. It only takes one.
Well, I know, but he didn't make the playoffs. So, but I think my dad was meant to do it for like I don't know the race or whatever it was, and maybe it was the championship. Anyway, but he's won with Ryan Blaney. So actually, I got to check with him because Blaney's been winning. He won those few races back to back, but I digress. Okay, Chase Briscoe, we've talked about him before. We'll talk about him briefly here. 2018 Panini certified. Ton of different parallels in 2018 certified, and also fresh faces signatures. It's about 8 different parallels for the signatures, all numbered from 99 or less. He's in the Panini Prime, the Jumbo Associate sponsor patches, fire suits, gloves, all kinds of memorabilia, race shoes, quads, and then Prism, 2018 Panini Prism scripted signatures and the different parallels there. And then 2018 Panini Victory Lane, just signatures. So Panini Prism, just signatures. Victory Lane, just signatures. Base cards are only in 2018 Panini certified. Next race, Viva Las Vegas Motor Speedway, South Point 400, 7 p.m. Sunday. September 26th. Stagers are 80, 160, 267 laps for 400.5 miles. And Good.
Oh, I was just going to talk a couple interesting things about Las Vegas. Did you know, or do you remember, Kyle Busch's first Cup start was in Las Vegas in 2004? That's his hometown.
Yes, that was a home track for him.
So that was his first Cup start. He finished 41st. Didn't have a good day. I think he crashed. So
he's come a long way.
Yeah, and also Cup wasn't the first series to run at that track because that track actually opened in 1996, and the IndyCar series ran some races there, and they were the first major touring series to run races there. Cup didn't go there and start racing until 1998, and that's when Mark Martin won the inaugural race there.
It was at the height of the NASCAR expansion, or at that time, getting rid of the Rockinghams and stuff like that, and moving to those bigger tracks, or different regions.
Chicagoland, Kansas, all of those. Yeah, that was around that time.
Playoff standings after Bristol, that was cutoff race. The eliminated from the playoffs: Eric Almirola, Tyler Reddick, Kurt Busch, and Michael McDowell. Their season's not over, but they are eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, they interviewed. I like Michael McDowell a whole lot. I really like him, and they interviewed him on TV before that, and they're asking him how he felt. And of course, he's an upbeat guy. He's going, yeah, if we're in the top 5 at the end, we're going to go for the win. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, dude, you're better on super speedway. Short tracks are not your thing. I don't think you're going to be there as much as you want to be optimistic about it. But, and I would love to have seen him be up there. Don't get me wrong, because I like him. But, saying, he said that and I'm thinking, no, I don't think so.
Well, I look at it. So this is how NASCAR is different, I think, from the other sports, right? So maybe, he is Michael McDowell. They're like the Oakland A's, right? They're one of these smaller teams, but they finished in the top 16. So they're going to get 16 money at the end of the year, which I think is a huge win for them, as opposed to, getting, top 20, top 30 money or whatever. So by them winning Daytona, of course, he'll always go down as, Daytona 500 winner. And then the team being in top 16 money, I think is a great season for them.
Oh, I think it was too. I mean, they had the opportunity to, they won the very first race of the year. So they had the whole rest of the season to experiment, try new things, and, kind of play around with setups and things like that to help them get ready for the playoffs. So, I mean, and that was a big advantage for them.
Yeah, at Front Row Motorsports, is not a massive team like, some of these other ones we're looking at here. Every one of these other drivers, they're from one of the big teams. I guess with maybe Kurt Busch and Ross Chastain with Chip Ganassi, whatever, but everybody else is a lot larger team. So, but that shuffles the playoff standings, and Kyle Larson is still in the first position. With all those playoff points, Martin Truex, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, William Byron, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Christopher Bell, and Kevin Harvick. So these bottom 4, they're, I don't want to say low on points, but I guess from position 7 down, they need some wins here to get bumped up. So to make it to the next round.
Yeah, I'll tell you who lucked out was the 48 and the 24. I mean, they were at the beginning of the race. They were literally on the outside looking in, and they had some good finishes and got some stage points, and were able to have some good finishes and actually make this cut. So I honestly didn't think that the 24 was going to make it, but he did.
Yeah, I know Eric Almirola, he was up in there, and then they had issues. I think it had a leaky brake or oil, whatever, and they had to come in, and that kind of, he was 2 points behind and fell out. So was Tyler Reddick, -2. So heartbreaking for those guys. Could have been any of those. And Harvick was, let's say, trying to go for that win to guarantee him a spot. So, but let's jump over to IndyCar real quick. That was race 15 of 16. That's the NTT IndyCar Series. And that was Sunday, September 19th. Colton Herter was the winner. Alex Palou came second. The next race is September 26th at the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach at Streets of Long Beach, California, which is a street circuit.
Yeah, that's going to be in PSA's backyard.
Yeah. Maybe they go past PSA. Alex Palou is in first in championship points. Like I said, there's only one more race to go with 517, followed by Pato Ward with 482, and then Joseph Newgarden at 469. So looks like it's Alex Palou's to lose. Alex Palou's to lose. I like that. So, Ken, I hope you're doing good. And give a shout out to Brian. Hey, Brian. Over at F1, their next race is Sunday, September 26th, 8 a.m. And that is the Sochi Autodrome. And that, I believe, is Russia Grand Prix.
Yeah, Russian Grand Prix.
Thank you. No race last week, so points don't move. Max Verstappen is the points leader over Lewis Hamilton by 5. So that concludes our recap from last week. So back to Xfinity playoffs.
Hey, I got a quick story for you about, we were talking earlier about 13 wins in the modern era.
Yeah.
Okay. That was done in 1998, NASCAR's 50th season, 50th year of NASCAR, by Jeff Gordon. Oh God, I hated that year, honestly. But funny story, my wife and I are in Chicago during the last race of the year, the Atlanta race. And I had no idea what's going on. We're doing touristy things and all that kind of stuff. So we go to the Billy Goat Billy Goat Tavern. And of course, that's where, I don't know if everybody knows about the Billy Goat curse with the Cubs, but anyway, that's where that started. So anyway, we're sitting in there, and they've got a Bears game on. Excuse me, they've got a Bears game on there, and I forget how I found out. Oh, I know what it was. The race was delayed because of rain. And we had left our hotel room, and the race, it was still, delayed. So like I said, we went to the Billy Goat Tavern. We were there watching the Bears game play. And I told my wife, I said, hey, I wonder if they mind if I turn this over to the NASCAR race. And she turned to me and she goes, do you know how expensive it is to ship a body back to Tennessee? She goes, don't you dare do that. They'll kill you here. I go, yeah, you're right. So I'm sure they wouldn't want me to change their Bears football game to a NASCAR race. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. Xfinity Series playoffs. We're in the playoffs. They're the last ones to start their playoffs. We were we were talking about doing a little exercise here of who do we think. I don't know if you want to go round of 8, round of 4, and then the winner, or vice versa, but I think I'm going with my gut here, and I'm going to go with winner backwards. AJ Allmendinger winning. I think he wins the championship. So maybe that's just my heart talking or whatever, but we'll see.
Yeah. Here's what I've got. I've got going to the round of 8. I've got Allmendinger winning this next week in Las Vegas. Justin Haley winning Talladega because he's good at the super speedway races. So I'm looking for him to win. Austin Cindric at the Roval, then Allgaier, Gregson, Hemrick, Harrison Burton, and Riley Herbst. That would be my 8. Then going to the round of 4, I've got Noah Gragson winning Texas, Harrison Burton winning Kansas, Austin Cindric winning Martinsville, and AJ Allmendinger rounding out the top 4 that are going to go to Phoenix. And I've got just like you, Val, I've got my Phoenix championship winner being AJ Allmendinger. So that's who I've got. But then also we have to factor this in because I don't know the entry lists for all these races. But there's always that wild card of Ty freaking Gibbs, who could mess something up, and I think he very well might.
He could be. So yeah. You have like Jeremy Clements dropping out, Mike Snyder dropping out, Brandon Jones dropping out.
Yeah, in the first round, I've got Jeb Burton, Mike Snyder, Brandon Jones, and Jeremy Clements dropping out. Then going from 8 to 4, I've got Justin Haley, Allgaier, Hemrick, and Herbst going out.
Okay. And don't forget Harrison Burton. He's moving up the Cup next year, going with the Wood Brothers. And Austin Cindric going up next year to Penske.
Mm-hmm. He's taking over that 2 car.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm with you, Val. So, Jason, do you have any predictions?
Well, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I actually agreed with year 4 that we're going to drop out, but I was with Cindric. I wasn't with Allmendinger winning the whole thing.
That's not a bad choice either.
I was curious though, and you guys are way more into this as far as the actual races go than me. But I'm looking, and I told you guys before, I always look at the top 10s as much as anything else. But somebody like Harrison Burton, 9 top 5s, 19 top 10s, he was one of year 4 that was dropping out, correct?
No, I've got him going into the final 4. I've got Gregson, Burton, Harrison Burton, Cindric, and Allmendinger in the final 4.
So you had Clements, Jones, Snyder, and who was your 4th?
Jeb Burton.
Jeb, okay. I was going to ask you why Harrison, but I mean I understand it a little bit more with Jeb. So we had 3 of 4 matching, but okay.
So and again, Halston Cindric won the Xfinity Championship last year, so it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be exciting. I think you're going to see a big battle between Allmendinger and Cindric for sure.
Sometimes I love that Xfinity series, right? Their tagline is, names are made here.
Yeah, and talking about Xfinity trading cards and rookie cards, the oldest rookie cards that are on there are 2007 AJ Allmendinger. He's got the oldest one, and everybody else goes up from there. You got Allgaier, who was in 2009 Press Pass and Stealth, Stealth Chrome. And then literally everybody else is in the teens, 20 teens and up for having rookie cards. So that tells you how young of a group that you've got in the Xfinity series right now.
A lot of young guns in there.
Yes, but yeah, buddy.
And the youngest young gun who has a card is Harrison Burton. 2012 when he was, I don't know how old.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I've got that card right here in front of me. Yeah, there you go. He was just
2012. Yeah, 2012 total memorabilia.
Yep.
So let me ask a question. As far as you guys mentioned that Harrison Burton and Austin Cindric are going to go up next year. Does anything matter as far as when they announce that? Because it's like you never see other sports. You don't. And it's a little different. Like you don't say that in baseball somebody's going to get promoted necessarily next year. Like you don't announce it that far ahead. So I'm just curious, just from my personal standpoint, like does it do anything for anyone to announce it in June or January or November? Like, is there any point to any of that, or is it just kind of coincidence?
Well, you start seeing these things. They call it the silly season. You start seeing these things usually before mid-season these days, it seems like, before halfway through the season. And the biggest reason for that is they're wanting to get a jump on the next season. In other words, they have a lot of plans to make, cars to build, things to do.
Okay, that makes sense.
Start preparing, because you can't start preparing for the next season right after the end of the season. You're actually preparing for this next year now. I mean, well, and of course now with the next generation car, that's even accelerated. But in a normal year without a new car, I mean, you're preparing for months for the next year, because there's just not enough time for them to secure sponsorship. And that's the other thing is, they have to secure their sponsors and do all of that in order to, get ready for the next season. But you just can't build cars, unfortunately, in the time frame, from the end of this season to the beginning of the next season in Daytona. There's just not enough time for the teams to do that. So they have to start doing it now. So that's why you start seeing these things early. And then once one domino falls, then other dominoes start to fall. People move around, shuffle around. Some people go down to the Xfinity series or, the series below.
Right.
Some people come up like Cindric and Harrison Burton. So, that's kind of the gist of why they do it that way.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like whack-a-mole.
Yeah, it is.
So, and also, I guess I want to say, give the driver some time, right? So I'm thinking with Harrison Burton, he's taken over the Wood Brothers car. Now Matt D'Benedetto is out of a ride and gives him time to try to shore something up, right? So if this all happened in November, and so the season ends second week in November. So you're talking about November, December, January, and Daytona is second week in February. To Logan's point, there's not a lot of time. If all these people are moving around, all these different levels, and bringing in rookies and shoring up these teams, and also, smoozing with sponsors to make sure that they're good with the drivers coming in, because it's a lot of moving parts.
I would imagine that situation, like for Matt, like you're saying, he's going to be out of a ride, so he's still there now, racing on that team, knowing that he's going to be gone. I imagine that's got to be somewhat difficult mentally for some of the guys, at least.
It is for him. I mean, if you hear him on Sirius NASCAR radio, you can tell it in his voice when they talk to him that he's excited about the remainder of the races, but he's pretty sad about not having any plans for next year. I mean, I haven't even heard of him even going to Xfinity or trucks or anything else like that. I mean, and I don't know why that's the case, because, Darrell Waltrip back a few years ago when Darrell Waltrip was commentating goes, hey, if there's any team out there that wants to get a great driver, pick up Matty D. And everybody was real high on him. And I don't know, I guess there must be something that the general public is not aware of. Because now he's just not in favor, and I don't know why. Because I like him a lot. I love Matty D. I was hoping he could win a race this year, and he's come close. But it's just weird how that's worked out.
Yeah, I don't know. The Wood Brothers, is a great team and probably the best equipment that he's been in his stuff. So go ahead, Jason.
Well, no, I was going to say. So let me tie this all back around. So when they make these announcements and people know that they're flip-flopping, going up, down, whatever, somebody like Cindric where okay, his announcement was that he's going up a level. Is there any similarity to that and a running back just got 2 touchdowns over the weekend that nobody had ever heard of? Like, is there any sort of collectibles push when that announcement is made?
I think there's some. I mean, I'll be honest. I've picked up a few more Austin Cindric cards, and I've picked up a couple autographs just to kind of, cover myself. And I've picked up rookies, and I'm probably going to get his rookie card graded eventually once PSA opens back up.
Right.
But yeah, I think there's a slight push. But NASCAR is a lot like all the other sports. I mean, it's like, what have you done for me lately? If somebody wins, I mean, of course, now you got people clamoring for their cards. I mean, let's look at Kyle Larson. I mean, last year he wasn't even racing in any NASCAR series whatsoever because he was on the outs, and now look at him. So
yeah, you could have picked him up cheap. Yeah, I picked up some Austin Cindrics because he was first supposed to be going to the Wood Brothers until Brad Keselowski went to Roush. So, with Harrison Burton going into the Wood Brothers, and it seems like that's going to be a long-term deal because they had mentioned that the reason they were not satisfied with Matt, they just thought that they can go with a rookie, they go into the next gen, and I guess they can use him for the next few years while, he develops or maybe goes to Penske or whatever. So I don't think that Matt was doing a bad job. I just think it was that they can go younger and if they're going to have to learn with a new car, they can just learn with a rookie as well.
Right. Which that happens all the time. I mean, I think he's aware that is a possibility. It's just, thinking about it. If you're racing for a whole season or doing anything for a whole season or a whole year, and at the end of the year you're leaving, it's kind of like, if a factory's closing and you're working for nothing as an end point. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just that mental wear and tear.
Yeah, I would not want to be in his shoes. That would wear on me pretty hard. And I guess the bigger thing too for him is like, okay, hey, I've had a pretty good year, and they've been in the top 10 a lot in these last 8 or 10 races. They've done well, and I'd be thinking, okay, what's wrong with me? Why doesn't anybody want me to drive their cars? Because I'm doing a good job. And that's like what it goes back to what I was saying earlier. There must be something we don't know that's going on. Because if I was a team owner and I was looking for somebody, Matty D's a free agent, man, I'd be picking him up. But I don't know why that's not happening. Right.
Well, guys, let's change gears here. I had a message from longtime listener and friend of the show, Michael Runyon. He had brought up a great topic. Last week we were talking about the 1991 Maxx and the factory sets and how the Bill Elliott is in that JC Penny set with the cert in it, factory sealed. And so his question was, is this the first pack set certified NASCAR trading card? And I know Bobby Allison had a card in the 91 Pro set, but there's no way to distinguish it other than you actually opened the pack and it came out of, but that it is certified. So there's no way to tell. So I was thinking, yeah, this is, the first pack set certified out of the NASCAR trading cards. I don't know. I wanted to get you guys' opinion of that.
Well, I had heard about that Bobby Allison card in the 91 Pro set. It's from what I understand, because I never pulled one, but from what I understand, it was just a regular card that he signed. It wasn't a card without gloss or anything like that. The only thing that I know of that I've been told throughout all these years, and this has been 30 years now, is that he used a thin point Sharpie to sign those cards instead of, just a regular Sharpie. So that's the only way I know that you could possibly distinguish that. So, yeah, I think that Bill Elliott would be the first one for sure.
So I'm not aware of the Pro Set card. That's news to me. But my first thought was when they did the 91 Pro Set, I'm going to backtrack everything I just said because I started to say it was the Pro Set portraits for football, but it was actually the Pro Line portraits. So it was a different brand, and they used the crimp. And I was going to say, I thought, well, if this was Pro Set, they would have used the crimp. So I will just backtrack everything I just said. Doesn't really matter. But I will agree that the Elliott, it's hard because you would know in 91 which one technically came out first. Are either of you guys aware of the release dates on those?
I would guess that JC Penny set was later in the year, and there's probably something that was in the Christmas wish book or something. Yeah, that's my guess, and that's only just a guess.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. So it's a tough one.
But yeah, that was a great question, and I didn't even think about that. So thank you, Michael, for that.
So to kind of expand on that, when was the next one? Offhand, without doing a ton of research, are you guys
92 tracks?
Oh, well then, okay.
And 92 tracks is actually it went through like the whole press run. I think there's only one series, right? And that's it's got the epic Dale Earnhardt Richard Petty duel signed, and they're on the different card image that are signed. So yeah. And there's also first Jeff Gordon as well and other legends. So,
yeah, quick story on that one. The first pack pulled autograph I ever pulled was that 92 tracks Jeff Gordon. And I got that card and I'm thinking, who the crap is Jeff Gordon? All I knew about him was, okay, he's on Thursday Night Thunder. I knew he was in the Busch series at the time, and he's coming to Cup. And I think, well, crap, what a dud. But I still got that card.
And also one other thing, I got hit up over the weekend and asking about were there actually some 1988 Maxx buybacks. And I thought that would be a great subject to talk about. They they were in the 1998 Maxx 10th anniversary. So when Upper Deck acquired the rights to Maxx, they produced this 10th anniversary set. It was wax packs, and basically, I don't know, I can't remember exactly, but like maybe the first 25 or 30 cards were 1988, 1989, 1990 design. And then they also had these buybacks that were all these different years, but you can get the complete list from Beckett or from the trading card database, but there's quite a few from 1988, and Upper Deck put their hologram on the back of the card, and the cards are numbered on the front with the driver's signature, and it also comes with a certificate of authenticity, and the number inside of the certification, it's about the same size as the card, matches what's on the front of the card.
Yeah, and I don't know what the odds were on pulling those back then. I mean, it's not like today where you're guaranteed 3 hits in a box or whatever. I mean, back then, you had odds of like 400, 500, 600 packs of getting one, and they were few and far between. I mean, I opened several boxes of those back then. I never got one of those cards and never got any autograph whatsoever out of that Upper Deck Maxx product at all.
Yeah, back then when you hit an autograph, you were shocked. It's kind of like in the Pro set when they had the holograms and stuff like that for the Lombardi Trophy and stuff like that. Maybe they're like one per case or something like that. It wasn't, one per box, but it had a great lineup of these 88s, and some of these I've seen and acquired, and some of them I have never seen. The 1988 Bobby Allison, Buddy Baker, Brett Bodine, Jeff Bodine, Derek Cope, Ernie Irvin, Dale Jarrett, Terry Labonte, Dave Marcus, Benny Parsons, Richard Petty, Ken Schrader, Morgan Shepard, Lake Speed, Hunt Strickland, Rusty Wallace, Darrell Waltrip, Michael Waltrip, and Cal Yarborough. Now, I've gotten some of the Rusty Wallace, I think Cal Yarborough. Some of these other ones I have not seen.
I've got Rusty and Buddy Baker. It's the only 2 I've got. I mean, they're hard to find.
So looking at the card, and I'm looking at the pictures that you sent me, Val, there is the Upper Deck certificate that comes with it. It's not like it is now where, it's typed on the back of the card or anything like that. It's 2 separate pieces. I'm assuming those holograms on the back were placed in 1998 by Upper Deck. That is not anything Maxx related, correct?
Yeah, that would be correct. They Upper Deck put those on those Maxx cards when they bought them back,
which is very smart, because when you have that autograph and the hand numbering, I hate hand numbering because I always worry about the counterfeit part of it. Not that I'm spending a bunch of money on stuff that I have to worry about it, but it's just that thing of, if you can just write that pretty close to what it looks like, you can kind of get away with it. But adding that hologram was a good touch for them, even doing that in 98, which obviously the hologram thing is kind of what they were known for a long time.
Yeah, it looks like it's just stuck on, and you can see that Upper Deck logo when you tilt it, it moves around inside of the square or the diamond.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I just wasn't, obviously I couldn't, because I'm looking at a picture, so I wasn't sure.
Right. And then if the cert that comes with it is just folded, and then it's got some kind of clear sticker holding it. But if you bow it out, you'll be able to see that the numbering on the front matches the numbering on the front of the card to the numbering that's in the cert. Like this Rusty Wallace I have is number 281 out of 297.
Yeah, I mean, Upper Deck did a great job of that year for sure. Those are I love those buybacks, but I don't actively look for them on eBay or any other platform. It just, if I just happen to see one and I like it, I may bid on it. Maybe I should start looking at all those things, and maybe everybody out there should start looking for them too, because they're cool. And there's more than just 1988. I mean, they did buybacks from 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 95. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of Harry Gantz, the different years from 89 to 95. There's also Jeff Gordon's in there from 92, 93, 94 as well.
Yeah.
Kyle Petty's from 89 to 95. And there's a Kyle Petty, Richard Petty from 89. That says it looks like a serial number to 12. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never seen that card, and I collect Richard Petty factory autographed cards, and I've never seen that card.
Yeah, so I didn't know if the folks who listen to the podcast knew about that 10th anniversary buybacks in the 1998 Maxx. So I think I saw one wax box on eBay now. It's like at $140. So again, you're not going to get an autograph per box. So it's a gamble, naturally. Yeah, they only produce from 97 to like 2000. If you can find some like 2000 SP, which, it's got the Jimmy Johnson and stuff in it, but they were kind of like throwing the stuff that they had laying around and in that stuff. I can't remember. I think there's MVP in there and some other autographs where I think they were, getting out of the business there or of NASCAR trading cards. So
yeah, that's another box you don't see anymore. That's dried up is the 2000 SP Racing.
Yeah, I guess in the last 5 years I've opened a few, finding them for $100 a box. But now with everything escalating and Jimmy having done what he's done, because you get the low number Jimmy Johnson, and then you have the serial numbered short printed ones in there as well. So those 2000 SP authentic are pretty sweet boxes.
Yeah, and you've got Kurt Busch's rookie in there too.
Right, and then you have Dale Earnhardt senior autos, because those boxes have 3 or 4 sign of the times, as well as the MVPs, and I think the Dale Earnhardts and those were live. I think like Hut Strickland was a redemption. I've been looking at some of the old Beckett's, and they show which ones were redemptions and which ones were not or whatever. So, but I think we're up over the hour mark here, guys. I don't know if there's anything else we want to talk about tonight or hit on.
I'll give my weekly update, and I still am not seeing any sort of information for 2021 Prism anywhere. No information on any release calendar, so we'll just keep waiting.
I think that's something we'll see in October. I want to say last year was the middle of October. So you would think that we would start to see, here we are already almost coming up to the last week of September. So I would think we'd see something any day now.
Yeah,
unless it's been delayed, but
I was even looking through some of the like Leaf products that are coming out, and I don't see anything racing, like we did with Sport Kings, where we got a couple cards here and there. So we're just waiting on Panini.
Yeah, I'm thinking it ought to be just any time we'll start hearing some stuff about Prism. I can't wait for that. That's going to be a good product. And the autographs are going to be on card, from what I can tell.
Yeah, I think Tim said that if they were going to go sticker, they were going to go sticker on Chronicles and then do the Prism on card. So
yeah, because we've seen a few of the drivers show some of the Prism cards that they were signing, and they were signing them on card and using the special marker, which I know you guys have told me before, but I have forgotten what that is.
Probably the Stadlers or something like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It'll also be interesting to see if Prism will be in stores. One, it's Prism. We all know how that stuff kind of flies usually, but you for sure, Logan, and we both have seen a lot of Chronicles in Target. And then I actually went yesterday or the day before, and there were actual trading cards on the shelf at Target. Just like Gypsy Queen baseball, Score football, some top stuff, but it was just like all of a sudden it just appeared out of nowhere. So we might actually see some of that stuff on the shelves here pretty soon.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Prism in the stores, especially Target. I have not seen any Chronicles in Walmart at all. I've looked in Walmart.
Same here.
And have not seen any. But I've seen plenty. And like I've been the Pied Piper of those dang things here at the Targets locally.
Now, I can't find any of that stuff in my Walmart or Targets. No Chronicles, no racing.
Well, you are in the racing hub, so that stuff may be flying out of there before you even get a chance.
Yeah, I don't know. But Prism would be awesome. Looking for some Ty freaking Gibbs Prism cards.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull me some Ty freaking Gibbs cards. We love you, Ty Gibbs. If you listen to us, we love you.
Definitely so. All right. Again, thanks everybody for listening to the show. And again, make sure you check out the archives. A lot of old shows talking about some of the older sets. Like today, we talked about the 1998 10th anniversary. If you're looking for information about like the 1970 Fleer direct strips, that's episode number 7, or the 1972 STP, show 29. 1983 Unos, show number 31. Also on show 31, the 1985 Sports Star photographic stickers. Or if you want to talk or want to listen about the 1988 Maxx, show number 38, 39, and then the 1988 Maxx Earnhardt promo, show number 42. So that's a little sample of the archives. But again, thanks for listening. And from me and the guys, we'll talk to you next week.